In 1935, after the Long March, the Red Army reached the northern Shanxi and set up a revolutionary base in Yan'an. 2 years later, full-scale resistance against Japanese aggression erupted, while the Kuomintang Party led the main front. Defeats, corruption, and political distrust stalled the fight. The Communist Party of China adopted a different strategy, fighting behind enemy lines through guerrilla warfare. Yan'an soon became the command center of this resistance. Here I'm at the Fenghuangshan revolutionary site. When the Communist Party arrived in Yan'an at the beginning of 1937, this was their first base. In these modest cave dwellings, Mao Zedong and other leaders held key strategic meetings that laid the foundation for the united front with the Kuomintang Party. Faced with a powerful enemy and vast front lines, Mao planned on protracted war, providing a clear roadmap for China's resistance.
After arriving in Yan'an, the Communist Party took the lead in building the United Front, pushing for both full-scale and protracted resistance. Japan's rapid invasion threatened not only China, but also extended into the Pacific and impacted Europe. China's persistence on the Eastern Front tied down major Japanese forces, relieving pressure on Allied forces elsewhere. It had a profound global impact.
As the War of Resistance reached a stalemate, Japanese forces intensified mopping up operations. At the same time, the Kuomintang's suspicions fractured the United Front, bringing military encirclement and an economic blockade. In Yan'an, material shortages hit unprecedented levels, and the question became urgent: how to survive in the midst of crisis. Around me are lush green rice fields. However, over 80 years ago, there was nothing but muddy swamp back here, and the area was totally desolate and untouched. And yet, it was here that a remarkable story of self-reliance unfolded. In the spring of 1941, the 359th Brigade, led by Commander Wang Zhen, marched into Nanniwan. With the rifles in one hand and the hoes in the other, they turned the wilderness into farmland. Today, a hoe and a rifle displayed at the memorial symbolize that era of survival and struggle.
What made things really tough was the severe lack of supplies. With no shelter, they built huts from branches or dug caves into hillsides. When food ran out, they foraged for wild plants or walked miles for grain. Working the rock-hard soil with worn hoes left their hands blistered and calloused.
In these harsh conditions, they overcame every obstacle, inspiring those around them. Productive work eased the burden on local communities and strengthened bonds between soldiers and civilians. Within a few years, they not only achieved self-sufficiency in grain, but produced a surplus, contributing to the border region's grain reserves and securing vital supplies for the war effort. Amid war and hardship, Yan'an became a cradle of self-reliance and resilience, inspiring hope nationwide and attracting attention from around the world. In 1936, American journalist Edgar Snow was the first Western reporter to reach the city. His book, Red Star over China, offered a rare glimpse of the communist-led resistance. Returning several times, he documented sweeping changes. From free public education and cooperatives to elected local governments and state-run industries, calling it a first in Chinese history.
In leading this national war, the Chinese Communist Party wasn't just fighting to defeat an enemy, it was aiming to break down the old order and build a new kind of nation. The Shaanxi-Gansu-Ningxia border region became a testing ground for that vision, where the party began putting its ideas into practice across politics, the economy, culture, and more.